اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في ديننا ودنيانا وآخرتنا. اللهم هيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا، وبارك اللهم لنا فيما رزقتنا، وقنا اللهم عذاب النار، واصرف عنا أسباب العذاب في الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم إنا نسألك سلامة الضمائر وحفظ العقول وعافية الأبدان والنجاة من كل سوء برحمة منك ورضوان يا رب العالمين. This is the second time. Last time we had our agreement to start with Al-Arba'un An-Nawawiyya, because what we said at the beginning of, during our introduction, what we said if you have a 40 hadith and spread it to the ummah or the people around you, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ promised us we're going to be among the scholars at the Day of Judgment. We're going to resurrect with them, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you had your agreement about that. But during the week, I received another, like somebody asked me to back to our topics, which we announced already. This is the topics in Arabic. The first one, الأحاديث النبوية المرتبطة بالتطور الحضاري. What did that mean? Do you have anyone can translate that? Okay, again, this is translation over here. This is the fiqh, I think this is the aqidah, maybe the hadith. This is hadith. The first one is prophetic hadith addressing the development of the society. Development of the society. If you ask me what is the real translation of what I meant when I said al-ahadith al-murtabita bil-tatawwur al-hadari, I'm going to tell you the relationship between what the Islam has, or what the Islam said, and the civilization in itself, actually. Do you like that one, or going back to Al-Arba'un An-Nawawiyya? This one is better? Assalamu alaikum. What do you interest with? How many would like to talk about this one? About this topic? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7, 8. Okay, mesh. Once we have 2 raise their hand, the third one is coming. You know, once we had 2 raise their hands, the third one coming. When the third one coming, everybody coming. Anyway, okay, no problem, inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can say over here, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is a few points I mentioned over here. When we talk about the civilization, do you think the Islam talked about this one? What do you have about that? What's your ideas about it? Huh? Do you think the Islam talked about the civilization or development of the community or society, or upgrade the system of the state? Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you have about that? Why you said yes? Sure, that's what I'm asking you. Okay. Wow, that's deep. Okay. Did you hear what he said? He said, if we're going to see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Talaq, we're going to see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made that smooth, and the smooth transaction to move that for the first situation of the zawaj and the second situation with the talaq. Do you have another example? Mm-hmm. Say it again. Distributing the al-anfal in Surah Al-Anfal. Okay, that's good. What is the relationship between that distribution and al-hadara? I think you need to use the computer.
So in the time of the Romans, the people that you fought and the people that you killed, their shield, their armor, their jewelry, you got to carry that. Whatever you could not carry, you had to leave it, and that would be given to the chiefs and the kings and the emperors.
The people are going to feel something wrong in their side against each other, and maybe it's going to be a seed of the enemy in the future between them. Okay, do we have another example? Bismillah, tfaddal.
I'm thinking zakah, because zakah it takes care of the weaker people in civilization that can't take care of themselves. So it makes sure that everyone has food on their table every day.
Actually, Anas opened another door for me. When we talk about the ibadat in itself, we're going to see how Islam built the community through the ibadat in itself. Let us see. Just for example, when we come into the salah over here, okay, I don't want to forget we're talking about the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But actually we are, and everything we have, it's through the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it is through the Quran, which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam already narrated to us. When we come into the salah, just for example, the salah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to perform the salah. What is the first lesson we have from the salah, by the way? The commitment. Just for example, you're going to think about another benefit from the salah. But this is the first one. I'm going to give it to you. And you're going to give me more. The commitment. If I have my commitment with the salah, and I really insist to continue with that system, actually when I go to my work, I'm going to have my commitment with my work. As long as Islam asked me to have the perfect performing of the salah, it's a kind of training for me to have the perfect performing of my work, whatever I'm doing outside. Just for example, I just finished Salat al-Maghrib right now. We just finished Salat al-Maghrib and coming over here. It doesn't make sense if we're going to concentrate over there and careless over here. It doesn't make any sense if we're going to get a benefit over there and ignoring the benefit over here. Doesn't make any sense if we're going to try to catch every single word we already recited in the salah, and over here we're going to be busy with the phones or something like that. Just I give you example. Do we have another example from the salah? Bismillah. Okay, to be organized. Just for example, is that a sign of this civilization? The people, they are organized already. When we come to start the salah, the Islam taught us to fill the first line and fill the gaps between each other. You know, when we ask the people to fill the gaps between each other, you know, it means we're not having any space, any distance between them. Maybe the shaitan coming in. When the Imam telling سدوا الخلل لا تتركوا فرجات لا تدعوا فرجات أو لا تتركوا فرجات للشيطان. You know, shaitan physically can come just to pass between me and you, or he can whisper, can pass even if we are fighting to each other. What do you think? The shaitan, it doesn't make sense if, it doesn't matter if we're going to be in touch or like have our social distance or whatever. Got it? The shaitan can do whatever he wants. But when the Islam come into me to ask me to be more close to my friend or my brother in Islam, you know, it's giving me, subhanAllah, a feeling we are a one person, not two. We can work together, we can do together, we can forgive each other, we can, you know, have our cooperation together. Is that good? Okay, what do we have more? Just being organized, commitment, organizing, and what is the third one? Bismillah. تفضل. A sense of community.
Maybe having a sense of community, because whenever back in a lot of time in history, whenever a civilization would fall, the root of it was that people tried to become individual, and they didn't worry about, okay, we're gonna go pray together. It was all me and myself. So whenever you lose that sense of community, people are only like, they're selfish, you know?
This is sense of community. Okay. I like this one. Sense of community. That's what you said, right? Okay. The sense of community, it's not just coming because we are standing next to each other in order. The sense of community coming through one of the most important things during the Salat al-Jama'ah especially. You know what is that? When the Imam reciting, He's reciting for me or for you or for him or for her? Reciting for which one? For all of us. He is reciting his Quran for everybody in the Salah. Am I clear with that? Okay. It means we're supposed to get together the same message coming from our leader in the Salah. Because of that, once we have the same information, we are building our mentality together, on the same message coming to us. Imagine the manner at home coming from the same dad and mom for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 kids growing up at that home. You're going to find all of them, usually, we are finding all of them with the same mentality because they are growing up together and they have the same sounds receiving every single time. You're going to find a common words between them. All of them saying the same words because they are receiving from the same source. In the masjid, we are receiving everything we have in our minds from the Imam reciting Surah, firstly Al-Fatiha, and secondly, he choosing for us a message to give it to us during that Salah. Did you get the point? Okay, what do we have more? Okay, why you open that door, man? Okay, this is just for the Salah. What do we have more? Imagine if the reciter has a good voice and he's reciting like a ayat affecting our hearts and we are feeling that until we cry. Imagine if somebody crying in the Salah and the rest of the people coming up to have the same feeling and all of them. And sometimes you enter the masjid to find everybody crying. Okay? The point here, some of them understanding what is the Imam saying, and the rest of the people, they don't understand what is the Imam saying because they're reciting in Arabic. Maybe we're not speaking Arabic, by the way. But the feeling, it's not the rules, the sign of community. It's like a rule, like something coming between all of the hearts and coming up to our minds to make all of us on the same way. Imagine if the whole community in the same way, going to the same way, doing the same things. Got it? This I just gave you like a few examples about how would the Islam gave us the rules of the civilization through the ibadat. What did you say about the zakat? If somebody needs something and he didn't find anyone to help him, for sure, in a while he's going to be against everybody in the community. For sure, he's going to be against the system of the community. For sure, he's going to destroy the whole community. Imagine that. It means we destroyed ourselves and our wealth and everything we have because we didn't follow the direction with the Islam and ibadat in Islam. Did you get the point? Okay, let us move to another thing. Just for example, the Sawm. How can we find the civilization rules through the Sawm? How can we get this point? Assalamu alaikum. You following us? Do you have any idea? Yes. Spiritual training. Okay. Okay. Kind of mental training. You said the spiritual training. Okay, we have 2 trainings right now, 2 kinds of training. Okay, spiritual and mental. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Allah yajzak al-khair. That's great. It means we have 2 or 3 points here. The mental and spiritual and physical too, right? Mental training. Got it. I see, I can tell. Okay, this is mental training. Imagine if the whole community had the same direction with the mental training during the Siyam. And a spiritual one. We are feeling together about the same. Okay, in Ghazwat al-Khandaq, in Ghazwat al-Ahzab, do you remember what happened during that time? When they were how can we translate يحفروا الخندق? You know الخندق المكان حول المدينة? I'm sorry? Digging the trench? Okay, that right? Digging it. Okay, imagine at that time, nobody in the Muslim community had enough food to feed himself and the rest of the community. You know? Do you think they stopped work because they didn't have money enough to be paid from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? They didn't have that mentality at that time. They started to do something benefit for the community, giving the benefit to the community, and they never stopped that, even if they are hungry. You know, one of the narration of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of the Sahaba came to him alayhi salatu wasalam, and he asked him, Ya Rasulullah, my wife sent me to you, and she asked me to invite you and 1 or 2 people with you. Okay, what did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did? Okay, let us say again. The companion Jabir radiallahu ta'ala, he came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he asked him, Ya Rasulullah, whisper like that. Ya Rasulullah, my wife asked me to invite you. أعدت الطعام, and she prepared food for you and 1 or 2 people with you. It means the food gonna be enough for how many 5. The wife, the husband, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and 1 or 2 with him. Okay, what did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? He said, أيها الناس, O people, your brother Jabir invited you to the food. Imagine more than 300-400 people and more than that number coming together to eat in the same place from 1 plate. Imagine that. How come? That's exactly what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ tried to do with the community when he alayhi salatu wasalam, gave them that example. Like mental training and a spiritual one. Once we are feeling everybody had the same feeling, we're gonna be more patient to do more, to give benefit to the community we are in together. Okay. When we talk about the civilization, I used to say this example. When they said the pillars of the civilization, we have 4 pillars for any civilization in the whole world. What is the first one? The first one, you can imagine civilization without people? You can imagine that? For sure, no. It's impossible. Because the people is the core of that. Because of that, we're going to say the first pillar of the civilization is HR. You know HR? Human resources, right? Okay. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay. The second one, imagine if the people already here, but they don't have money. They have no source of income. What are they going to do? They're going to die in a while. Right? Because they have nothing. They have nothing even to eat. Okay. We're going to consider we have people and they already have money or source of income, but they are ignorant people. What are they going to do with the money? Maybe they're going to kill each other. Because they are people, they are strong people, and they have a lot of money, income, and they don't have knowledge. What they gonna do? Maybe they're gonna kill each other. Because of that, we need the science or ilm or knowledge. Got it? Okay. We are here, and we have money, and we are a knowledgeable people, but we don't have a leadership. We don't have a leadership. Each one of us gonna try to be a leader, and maybe we're gonna fight until we kill each other. Just for example, imagine when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Surah Al-Kahf for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And at the beginning of the surah, you're gonna find a great example of the human resources, the human people. Got it? With the Fityat Al-Kahf. And then we're gonna move to find وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلَ الرَّجُلَيْنِ جَعَلْنَا لِأَحَدِهِمَا جَنَّتَيْنِ. It's giving us example about the source of income and how can we deal with the income coming to us from the whole world, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. Okay? And then we're going to move a little bit to find the story of Musa ala nabiyina alayhi salatu salam while he was a student or teacher. He was a student with Al-Abd al-Salih as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala named him. Got it? Now, just a second. It means we have a human resources and we have income, source of income, and we have the science like concept, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us example about Dhul Qarnayn while he used to lead the people here and there everywhere. Because of that perspective, because of that concept, the Prophet Muhammad sallam asked us to recite Surah Al-Kahf every single week. Every Friday, the Prophet Muhammad sallam asked us to recite Surah Al-Kahf. Why? To keep connect with the concept of the civilization. We don't want to forget the concept of the good kind of a human being, and we don't need to deal with the money with the way the first man did in the story, and we don't need to stay, not having the whole kinds of ilm, and the leadership with Dhul Qarnayn. When we talk about the relationship between the Islam and civilization, we're going to have all of that examples. Can we remember together what is the first ayah came to the Prophet Muhammad sallam in the Quran? Okay, can I have somebody telling me what is the relationship between Iqra and get knowledge? What is the relationship between that and the civilization? What's your name?
Ahmad.
Ahmad, okay.
So,
Okay, use the microphone.
what do I know about what?
What do you know about? Okay.
The civilization
And read and Iqra and get knowledge.
what's the difference?
No, what is the relationship? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the Prophet ﷺ to read first before anything? This is the first ayah came to the Prophet ﷺ, right? Okay, what is the relationship between them? Do you have somebody else until I think about something? Okay, talk. Bismillah. Okay, come back.
Allah told the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to read first so he could understand and know what he like the religion of Islam and what Jibreel is trying to show him. The effects. Like it's like to show him like the book and to get him to expand his knowledge on it.
When you read, then you learn. And when you learn, then you understand. When you understand, you can become a leader. And when you are a leader, you can build a civilization.
Okay. What is the translation of الذكاء الاصطناعي? Maybe you don't know that. I'm sorry? Artificial intelligence. AI? Okay. Very good. No, I'm not asking about that.
So when you know about when you learn more about the civilization, you can tell others, and it makes them know more.
Okay.
So it makes
I'm going to ask
the
you a
others
question,
know.
and don't feel shy to answer. Which one is more smart? The old generation like me or the new generation like you? This is the question. Smart in what? Okay, give me example. What do you have? Whatever you have, just tell me. An experience and
In experience, it would definitely be your generation, and like knowledge and able to be patient and be able to like understand the situation. For our generation, I think it would be utilizing the resources, the data, and the technology that we have in this modern day and age. Yeah.
But we have more. I need more about this book, actually. Nothing.
The newer generations are more stupid in almost everything.
Uh-oh.
Science.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay.
I feel like the older generation would be smarter in more basic things, in like growing up and like doing stuff. Because like back then, everything wasn't as advanced as how it was right now. Like a lot of things have changed in these last 30, 40 years. So I feel like the new things, like this technology and like how the society has become, the newer generation would be more adaptable and would know more about it. But in the older generation, they would know more about like like stuff that won't change, like life experiences, that like examples like getting married and stuff.
You have something?
Yeah, it's kind of what everybody was saying, but I feel like the older generation would be more knowledgeable about things that have to do with experience and traditions that are being passed down, whereas the newer generation, they're probably better at adapting to new things, adapting to technology, because it's something that we grew up with, right? So I guess like getting information, but the older generation is more of like, passing information down to others.
But all of what you said, you're talking about the people they already interested to get more ilm. In our generation or in your generation. But by the way, when we talk about 50 or 60 and 15 or 14, how many generations we have in between? Every 10 years we have a new generation, by the way. It means we have like 4 or 5 generations in between, Imagine that. And each one had a different experience about this dunya. And each generation of them, they have something different with the others, after and before, by the way. Subhanallah al-Qadir. But when we talk about the careless people, it doesn't matter what is the age we're talking about. We're talking about the kind of people, they already careless. They will never get any information about anything. Actually, they don't have experience about what's happening before, and they will never have any information about what's coming after. We are talking about the people they already interested to get more and more and more. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the Prophet Muhammad sallam to be a model of the whole human being to get more ilm. It wasn't the only time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the Prophet Muhammad sallam to do that. You remember when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the Prophet sallam to say, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Yani, Ya Rabb al-Alameen, give me more and more and more in ilm. And don't let me, being with the ignorant people, to stay over there. At the end of the day, they're gonna work in Walmart, on, Panera Bread, wherever. Something doesn't need any kind of thinking. Just filling the sandwiches and give it to you, shukran. That's it. Because of that, they're getting the minimum wage. But when we talk about the IT people or the intelligent people, we are talking about 6 figures and more sometimes. Subhanallah al-Qadir. You get the point here? Okay. How can we make a relationship between that knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to have and the civilization is built on the ilm in itself? Without the ilm, we will never have that AI, artificial intelligence. We will never have something like that. But by the way, what's different between the Islam and the others when we talk about this point? Because the creator of that artificial intelligence, maybe they're not a Muslim. it means we don't have a relationship between the Islam and the other, and that kind of knowledge. Got it? When we talk about the Islam, we're gonna just read the ayah. What did the ayah said? اقرأ. اقرأ what? اقرأ باسم ربك. You're happy with that? شكرا. Okay, اقرأ. What did that mean? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala added this part? Why He didn't say just اقرأ? Hello? Because of what? Okay, be careful. We have a camera everywhere. You're under watching here. Okay, don't say anything wrong. Don't do anything wrong. You're under watching. Be straight. Very good. Do you need the microphone? Why? Okay. As long as we consider about the cameras, we will never do anything wrong, right? When we say اقرأ باسم ربك under the shadow of رب العالمين subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will never do anything wrong. We're going to use our knowledge with the good ways. Did you get the point now? Why I told you, you are under watching over here? Just a kind of metaphor to tell you, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said اقرأ باسم ربك under the shadow of رب العالمين subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the name of Allah azza wa jal. اقرأ باسم ربك. Without اسم الله, I can do whatever I want. You know, the last report came about the artificial intelligence. Imagine that الذكاء الاصطناعي getting the photo, you know, they're getting the picture of you and putting that with that artificial intelligence, putting that face with another body, sometimes without anything, and put that person in a trouble. They are using that with that kind of what? Of knowledge? Can we say knowledge about that? That shameful things. Did you get the point? Because of that, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said اقرأ, He said اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم. As more you're gonna do, you're gonna get knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you more and more and more. Got the point now? Now, we need to move to the beginning of the Quran to understand that point. The first time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Adam alayhi salam, who's Adam? You're busy. Who is Adam?
Adam is the first human being.
The first one?
The first human being.
First human being?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any information about Adam?
He's the first prophet.
The first prophet?
He got sent down from heaven.
Okay.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told all the malaika to make sujood to him.
Okay.
He knew all the names.
Okay.
He was the first person on earth.
You can see in the word. Okay. You have something else? I'm sorry?
He ate from the tree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
He ate from the tree. Okay. You have something? He's the father of the humanity. Okay, gets you. Jazakumullah khairan. Here, the first time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the name of Adam in the Quran, He mentioned another thing. What is that thing? Al-ilm, the science, the knowledge. He said, وَعَلَّمَ Adam. What I'm trying to understand from that, the science without Adam, nothing. Adam without science, without ilm, without knowledge, he is nothing. When we talk about the relationship between the ilm and the civilization, we're going to find the fundamental of the civilization coming through the ilm in itself. Got it? Over here, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. What is that, guys? Bismillah. Okay. Do you remember when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned a story of Dawood and Sulaiman in the Quran? Because we were talking about ilm. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا دَاوُودَ وَسُلَيْمَانَ عِلْمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we gave Dawood and Sulaiman. You know Dawood and Sulaiman? The two prophets? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we gave them ilm. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا دَاوُودَ وَسُلَيْمَانَ عِلْمًا وَقَالَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ. The ilm causing them to say Alhamdulillah, to recognize the blessings coming to them from Rabbil Alameen subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you know the value of $100, you will never destroy or put it in the garbage. But if you don't know, maybe you're gonna put it in the, okay? What's the difference between you and a little child, his age like 6 months? You're gonna give him $100 bill and he's gonna crash it like that and maybe looking for a chocolate or something and put it back because he doesn't know the value of that. Got it? Without that knowledge, we cannot evaluate what we have already, and then we cannot say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us another adding, like when he said وَلَقَدْ أَتَوْا عَلَى وَادِ النَّمْلِ فلم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الآية بتقول إيه بقى؟ لا مش ولقد بسم الله الرحمن أتوا على المهم قالت نملة يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم حتى إذا الله يفتح عليك حتى إذا أتوا على وادي النمل قالت نملة يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم. What is the meaning of naml? Ant. Imagine when they came to the group of the ants, one of the ants said something, and Sulaiman alayhi salam knew what she said. And he stopped everybody. He heard her. And he stopped the whole الجيش يعني ايه? Army. You know, he stopped the whole army behind him until they became like they being like safe from any kind of danger. And he passed. At that time he said, Rabbi awzi'ni. It wasn't the first time. I'm sorry, it wasn't the only time. Another time when he talked to Al-Hudhud. What is the name of Al-Hudhud? One of the birds. The bird came to him and he told him a story about somebody, they are worshipping Shams in somewhere else. And he sent him, that Hudhud, you know, to give them a message from Sulaiman alayhi salam. It wasn't the only time. And the third time, once he heard about Bilqis, the queen of that people, you know, and he sent a message to her, and he sent one of his people, you know, actually his group, to bring her, what are you calling al-arsh throne? Okay? Imagine they held it. They got it. Imagine if somebody, you know, you can imagine that. If they get the White House from that place, you know, to move it to, just for example, to Egypt or somewhere else. They get it and put it in another place. Once she came, she found, wow, the same place. What? What is that? I knew everything over here. قالت كأنه هو. It's similar like mine. Similar like mine. It's the same. You know, with the details even. Because it was her. This is the ilm. This is the knowledge. Can give us. Before that artificial intelligence, before creating that, we have that story in our Quran since or before 1,444 years. Did you get the point now? Now, we can say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. One of the main points now, Bismillahir Rahmanir Alhamdulillah, we have time. Allahumma lak alhamdu wa shukr ya Rabbil Alamin. I'm going to give you an example. قال النبي, نعم. For sure. تفضلي.
So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Also, اقرأ is receiving knowledge. And this is very important today because when you read in physics, chemistry, biology, anatomy, physiology, those who don't believe in God, they won't point, oh, subhanallah, look how the cell is manufacturing energy. Oh my God, look how the heart pumps the blood. And I also had a chemistry teacher who we were speaking about the atom and what makes the atom. And then there is something holds the proton and electron together in the center of the atom. And I told him, how is it not colliding together to nothing? And he says, I don't know, maybe it's a God's part. So this is how you read knowledge. Even history, when you read history and you see how some nations got destroyed, you think to yourself, I should read that. بِإِسْمِ رَبِّكَ الْأَعْلَى. In the name of Allah, we understand the world. In the name of Allah, we understand knowledge. That's جزاك الله خيرا.
جزاكم الله خيرا. This is the important point. Subhanallah, Allahumma laka alhamdu wa shukru ya Rabbil Alameen. Okay, let us come to the small points here. You can say it like that. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Al-Imanu, تفضل. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الإيمان بضع وسبعون شعبة. Like al-Iman, you know the Iman? It's like بضع وسبعون, 70 and something parts. Got it? أعلاها لا إله إلا الله. The best one of the Iman levels of لا إله إلا الله. Okay? And the lower one, the lowest one is إماطة الأذى عن الطريق. To remove the hearts, you know, or the issue can give the people any kind of hurt, you know, to remove it from the way. Just getting this one, you drop it over here. I got it like that and put it in the garbage. That's it. This is the part of our Iman. That's what I ask the people. Imagine how many one over here. Imagine if we are like 100 people, got it? And we are together right now going to the street and clean it. Do you think we're gonna find anything wrong over there? Imagine if everybody of us insists to clean the places. Whatever he's seeing, he's getting out, put in the garbage. Just pick it up. We will never find anything wrong. But because of our lazy situations, you know, got it? The lazy boys were not doing that actually. One of the signs of the modern life to find everywhere clean and clear. The Islam told us that before anyone else. He told the Islam, and the Prophet Muhammad specifically told us what we need to do everywhere. It becomes, subhanallah al-qadir, when I think about that deeply, I'm gonna find it as a part of the Iman. Do you think it's gonna be choicely or mandatory? You know, we cannot say this is an obligatory thing to pick up everything you find in the street. I cannot say that. But if I'm going to think about the issue deeply, wallahi al-azim, I will find it as a mandatory thing. Especially in our special parts like, you know, like homes and, you know, workplaces and so on. So, got it? Can we review what we said so far? Assalamu alaikum. الناس نايمة النهاردة جدا. Okay, can we review what we said so far? Can you tell us anything we said? Just review it part. There you go.
We're talking about how Islam relates to civilization, like how when the Imam is choosing an ayah from the Quran to share with the people that are praying behind him, and he's saying something that's deep and everybody starts crying with them.
Okay, Jazakallahu ta'ala khairan. What do you have in your mind? Tell us something about what we said. There's a microphone in your hand. Hold it, man. What's your name?
Dan.
Okay, you stand for the face the people and tell them what did we do so far. Bismillah. We need to use it for this.
Oh, okay. We talked about the stuff that Islam encourages or and supports, like building like a good civilization, and
We try to make a relationship. We try to connect between the civilization and the ibadah. We give you examples about that.
Yeah.
Always tell about the Salah, Siyam, and Zakat.
yeah, all of them build a sense of community, uh, a sense of community, or like help the community stay afloat and good.
Barakallahu feekum. Okay, do we have somebody else? Bismillah. Just remind, تعال. Here you go. Come here. Bismillah. يلا عمو بسم الله. Run. Yes.
You talked about how Suleiman stopped the whole army behind him and heard the ants and let them pass by before they went. Yeah.
What way you connect this one?
Because subhanallah, Suleiman could hear the ants. That's something that's not normal.
And it's a kind of like a sense of the human being at the same time. You know, it's a sense of the human being to be careful about everything around you, not just me and I and myself, and I'm gonna destroy everything around me. I don't care about anything. You know, I'm caring about everything actually, because. But listen, okay. Do we have somebody else? Do you want to say anything? There you go. Give us a brief about what we said so far. Okay? Yeah. Why not? Bismillah. Okay. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakumullah khair. We didn't talk about the Hajj, by the way. What is the relation between the Hajj and civilization? We're talking about our Islam and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Here you go. Bismillah.
A lot of Muslims come every year together to go to do Hajj around the Kaaba. They throw the stones at the location where Shaitan was trying to bother Ibrahim alayhi salam, and then they run 7 times from the 2 mountains. So everybody is together. All the Muslims are together. So they're like and then when everybody is doing it, it forms like a connection between everybody that they're doing Hajj together.
Would you have more?
It's a goal that whether you're in Malaysia or you're in like Morocco, it's like a goal that everyone has. And when you're there, it reminds you of Islam's roots, and like it's a story.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan. But we have more. The Hajj.
I was gonna say that like when for Hajj, the whole ummah like across the world, they all go there. They all want to complete it. So like when you see like everybody there, like the completing Hajj, going from Isra Miraj, walking and everything, like it creates a sense of bonding with all of your brothers and sisters around you in Mecca.
You have somebody else? Okay. Arsalan.
So about the relationship with the ibadah and the laziness and the cleanliness is the same as laziness as like for us for sunnahs we just skip it because it was a sunnah and we should actually do it more. The Sahaba would do it because it was a sunnah and we leave it because it's a sunnah. and so we have to like do more and more so we can actually achieve Jannatul Firdaus, and that's all.
Okay, I'm going to add just one point. Just one point. Imagine if we have a company, a big company, a huge company. It has 100,000 employees. And they want to give them a training about something very important and affecting the future of the company. Okay, do you think the best way to give them the same information and the same feeling in the same time, the best way, they're going to collect all of them in the same place to give them the same direction? And that's exactly what the Islam did when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the people to come to Mecca over there, and he stayed over there that time and performing the same things in the same time. Imagine the people coming from Mecca to Mina to stay over there, and then they're going to move to Arafah, all of them, all of the Hujjaj, and he's staying all the day in the Arafah and coming back to Al-Muzdalifah, staying over there the whole night or the rest of the night, and moving together to Mina again, to how can we say it, like يرمي الحجرات, to throw the small, what is that? Stones, not rocks. To throw the stones on the shaitan, and coming back to do different things, but all of them in the same place, staying together, like 2 or 3 days over there. And then we got the training. Now, alhamdulillah, we're done. Coming back together with the same feeling, no sayyat, nothing wrong with us, and coming fresh, really fresh, to start our life again from the beginning. Just for example, this is the civilization concepts. Just giving a training for everybody. Do you remember what they used to have in the school when they give you like a training على الإنذار? What is that?
Fire drill.
Fire what?
Fire drill.
Okay. I agree with you. I have no problem with that. The whole people in the school hearing the same voice, acting together with the same actions, even if you're gonna be like under the table or whatever, we are going to the same ways, doing the same actions. This is the training. When we talk about the Hajj, we have the same concept like that. Back to our points here, we have Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. رفع الأذى من الطريق. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he talked about the men and women or boys and girls, what do you think about him, alayhi salatu wasalam? Do you think he said the boys better than the girls or the girls better than the boys? For sure they are better than us. We need to be safe, man. I'm just kidding. Okay, what did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu used to do? Just for example, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu one time he said, anyone gonna have 3 girls, they're gonna make him in the Jannah. Got it? Anyone has 3 girls, they're gonna bring him to the Jannah. If he gonna treat them nicely and goodly, he gonna be a good model for them, and he gonna father and mother. Don't worry. You worry about your mom, man. Okay, got it? The Sahaba said, what about if they 2, not 3? He said even 2. One of the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, I just have 1. What about if 1? He said, even if 1. He didn't say that about the boys. Imagine. Why he said that, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because the people at that time, they used to prefer the boys more than the girls. He told the whole, okay, usually I'm telling my wife, you know, we are treating our girls or like educating them to be like you. But we are growing up our child, our son, to be like me. We are preparing you to do a lot of things, and we are preparing the son or the boys to do something maybe a little bit different. Got it? Each one of us has a different characters, and our attributes is different. Maybe the characteristics may be different, a little bit different, with a different angle, different things. Got it? The Prophet Muhammad, when he said that, the boys and girls, they are equal in the whole community. Okay, what do you think about yourself? You're going to feel shy to go out, to do something? We are equal. I'm going to do that. But each one of us, as we said, has a different attribute. Because of that, I am doing the part matching with my personality, and you're doing something matching with your personality. Got it? On the street, we will not act similar, but when we have a target, we have no different to do it, to finish up. Is there any relationship between the civilization and that concept? Do you seeing that? He's encouraging everybody to do something for the community. You're raising your hand, you're just stretching it. Just stretching. Okay. Got it? How many minutes left? Okay, we good. There you go. I'm sorry? This is the microphone.
Does it have anything to do with when Prophet Muhammad said, when you have 3 daughters or 2 daughters or 1 daughter, the men and their father will go into Jannah? Does that have to do anything with the Prophet Muhammad also saying that the Jannah is under the mom's feet?
Right. She added another point when she mentioned about the Jannah gonna be under the feet of the what? Fathers? You insist? You do. You does. Okay. The Jannah under the feet of the moms. Okay, we have a husband and wife, and each one of them doing his work. And the man, as the Prophet Muhammad described that, he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the dad gonna be the door in the middle of the Jannah. وسط أبواب الجنة. You can open it or close it. This is for the dad. Okay, what about the moms? He said, الجنة تحت أقدام الأمهات. But the whole Jannah gonna be under the feet of your mom. If she's good with you, okay, and you good with her, you're gonna enter the Jannah, inshallah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. But once you arrive the Jannah, because of your mom, you cannot open the door because of your dad, or you can open the door because of your dad. It means both of us, we have our opportunity to receive that kind of respect from our children, to have our dignity between them. Did you get the point? Now, the conclusion. Now, when we talked about the first topic over here, where is that? Let us see, where is that? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillah. Okay, over here we said, Fatih Hadith addressing the development of society. How many one can make a short video about that topic. Yeah, from me, I'm gonna give a $20 for the one gonna make a good video about that topic. اتفضل. I'm sorry? Okay, today. Okay, this is okay. This is for today. You can get a $20 if you're gonna make a good video. Okay, and at the same time, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm gonna ask you to give the people like a briefing about what we said after Isha prayer. Just prepare something in your mind. Allah yazakum khair. Now, the topic we already did. Did you forget the topic? Okay, the topic is over there. No signal. Please open. Please. Okay. Did you get the topic here? This is the topic. You know, or you can have another topic, the relationship between the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ or the Islam and the civilization, developing the community, whatever you have. Agree with that? Okay. Jazakumullahu ta'ala khairan. Barakallahu subhanahu wa ta'ala fikum. And salamullahi alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're going to prepare ourselves to start our prayer in 10 minutes, insha'Allah ta'ala. Salamun alaykum.